Good morning guys. I wanted to pop in. I'm starting to work on a little project for a bride. I have a bride that is wanting to do a terrarium-like centerpiece, but we're not using true terrariums. This is something similar to what the picture she sent me. This is actually a lampshade, but hers is a little bit more geometric with more straight lines, and this is kind of curved. But this is what we're going to use to create her DIY, a custom DIY video for her. But you guys get to go along for the ride. So this is one that I bought, but I bought a few others because I wanted to give a lot more options to this. So this is one that I'm making specifically for her. Here's a taller one here. This is actually a toilet paper holder, but you can do a variety of centerpieces that have something in common. Like what's going to be common in all of these is that it's all something that has something metal and wire like in it. And for example, if you wanted to do something vintage, you might choose to do silver. You might have a silver platter. You might have a silver coffee pitcher. Something's silver candelabras, something that ties them all together. So these are going to tie them all together. We're going to paint them all the same color gold. And this one was at Home Goods for $8. And this last one was on clearance at Home Goods. The best thing to do when you're planning for your wedding or your event, and if you give yourself plenty of time to go through the season, you want to hit every clearance at the end of every season to find some things that you want. So these were currently on clearance for $7 at Home Goods. Regular price is $15. So, and they had at least 5 or 6 of these. So these would be something really great to buy up as a set. So say for example, this particular bride's got 20 tables, and split it up into threes, into a third, 3 different types of centerpieces. This kind of would help break things up unless you're wanting them all the exact same, which you can. But if you have a hard time finding that many multiples, then break it up into 3 or 4 different centerpieces. It makes it a lot easier to come across the exact same thing and have just say multiples of 5 instead of a multiple of 20. So, and what we're putting on the inside of it, for example, the inside of this, we have a couple different options. We can put something here or something here. So for us to put something here, these are the options that I've got for that. We can maybe use a plain piece of wood, especially if we're just using silk flowers or wood flowers, something like that, with some styrofoam on top. If you're doing fresh flowers, then you might want to do some kind of bowl, because you're going to have to get the ice wet and to keep that moisture in it. So you might want to do some kind of bowl. You just want to make sure it fits in it. See, that fits in it just like that. But see, that might be a little bit too tall. So if you want something smaller, grab one of these, but you want to glue this down and make sure it's completely sealed, and then we'll put that underneath there. So it's a little bit flatter. You don't have as much to cover up because you want to see more flowers than you do the plate or the bowl that you're using. Here's the paint that I'm using. I just grabbed this gold. This one has a little bit of extra in it, so I typically just go for this. This is more of a brassier gold. So if you want something that's not as brassy looking, that there's a couple other golds that's a little bit more toned down. This was just the lampshade that was black, and I spray painted it gold. And then I decided I'm going to use this to hold my flowers. So what I'm going to do is first I need to glue this down to make sure it stays put. And then I'm going to go back on the inside of this edge just to make sure it's kind of sealed. Or you might want to do that with like E6000 or something like that instead of the hot glue. So I'm just going to hold it here a second. You have a lot to do. Like this bride, she has 20. It's probably to get a larger piece of styrofoam with your coupon at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, than it would be to get these. This comes in a package of 6, but I love using these. I'm just going to cut the bottom off a little bit and glue it right there, and it just gives me what I want. It's super quick, super easy, things like that. Sometimes I just like simple, stupid, easy. So I'm just going to cut just a little bit of it off just to give it a flat surface so I can just glue it down. That's all I was doing that for. So just hold that down, and you can get These come in all different size bags. Again, you always take advantage. You want to get on the email list for Joann Fabrics because they carry this kind of stuff too. And for example, they sent me one for 60% off of something today. So Joann Fabrics email list, Michael's, and then Hobby Lobby. Joann's really good about texting coupons to you all the time. All the time. And then of course you just go to the website for Hobby Lobby and Michael's to get their discounts every day. So I'm just going to hot glue, this all over it. So it really didn't take too much, and we're going to keep it low but kind of coming out. So I want to use something like this. See, it has that natural little curve. That's what I'm banking on. And I'm putting it down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to pull these off. I'm going to put them somewhere else. Again, I'm going to put this kind of going down at an angle a little bit here. That's one thing about having this ball shape. It kind of gives you a little bit to work with. That's what these short ones are going to be for. Stick it more at an angle. Yes, there we go. It's more like that. Right there. And then I'm going to use this. This is actually a part of a garland, and I did not use it in the last one. So this will give it a different kind of a look. Again, you just need to decide what type of greenery you like, what style that you like that works best for you. So we're starting with that right there. And now, like I said, we're going to add this next, and this is about maybe 12 inches of it. I believe this is like a 10-footer, so then you can get 10. Use it 1 foot per. So let's fill in some more holes here. I'm going to put this in between each one, so a little bit there. I'm going to put this up here. See how it's a natural curve, and it's just following along. That one's going up here and that's going down here. That's part of a style I like, but it's just separate them and have it equally around. Then put a little bit here and then here, and then put the rest in the back. It's free flowing. It's not too compact. It's not solid, because we're going to put the rest of we're going to put flowers in next before we add any more greenery. Let's look and see. You know what? I want this to be a little bit taller, so I'm going to see if I can wrap this with wire and get it just a tad taller. Because I could put this one up like here and then have the bigger one down the bottom, but so I need this to be a little bit taller. So even if you accidentally cut it too short, you can always add wire to it to make it taller. Uh-oh, this came out. I pulled it out on accident. Okay, so see how that's kind of up high? And what if I do this one kind of low? And I'm gonna do one more big one because that's what I have right here. So I want it to be kind of loose and not so tight in. We're gonna have it pulled in a little bit. See, I'm kind of bending the wire to give it, to follow this curve a little bit. That's kind of what I'm wanting it to do, because I'm wanting to follow this greenery on this side where it's going down. Sticking out like that, that's what I wanted it to do. And then I want one on the other side, so I will use this entire stem. Okay, I'm gonna be able to cut this up more. I wanted to keep this kind of short right here. There we go, I've got that there, I like that. You kind of keep spinning it around and looking at it to see if it still if it's too far out. We may have to ring it in a little bit. See how that's kind of in that window up there, even though it's in the other side of this. And then these follow here, so these are kind of drooping down here. Now we want to fill it up a little bit more, so we're going to take some of our white ones that we had. Okay, then we put a group of white right there. Then I'm going to put some more right here, keeping it no taller than this right here. We want to keep it going out more on both sides. I still have this single one here. Oh, no, it's finished with our white. It's finished with the white. And I like these because you can slide these down. And then we're going to crisscross these just so it fills up more. Feels like I need something hanging more out in here. I have these I haven't used yet, which are some smaller burgundy ones. So I'm going to put this here. I like that because you see you got the burgundy, the blushy white, blue, burgundy, blue, and the green right there. So I'm going to do another mini one in this area. Let's see how it looks on top. Okay, I'm still keeping it that shorter distance. Let's go ahead. I'm pulling off these because we're going to use these later to fill in some holes. And we're putting it in the middle of all of these blues like that, which I have one white, two white, so which means I would use 3 white. A different type of white, because this is kind of crazy. So let's add this one instead. You see how it's kind of not so structured. It's kind of crazy. I like that. I'm going to put 2 more right in here. Like them. And it looks like it's still maybe missing like a bigger one. So I'm going to move this one down and I'll put a bigger one right here. Put this one here and this one's going to be over here. Okay, so I'm keeping it low right in there. So we have 1, 2, 3 of these. I have 2 other smaller white. It's about different sizes. It's great if you have your color combinations and have different sizes. You have the larger ones, then you have the next size down, and then you have the next size down. So just having different size flowers looks really good. But now I didn't add this because it has that little bit of pink, even though it looks white in there. It is actually a little pinky. Let's see about adding this somewhere. I'm shoving this in because I want to keep, like I said, keep everything kind of low. You don't want to see a whole bunch of holes, but you don't have to necessarily cover every little bitty thing. Kind of add a bigger succulent like this, and maybe even like spray paint it gold or something different. I'm actually going to wire this sucker in if I can, because I really like that. Don't know if she'll like it or not, but you could paint it gold to give a little bit of gold. You can also, with a paintbrush with some gold paint, touch up the centers of these so they're more golden yellow. Like little acrylic paint. You know, you can get that at Walmart for like $1. Maybe so if it's a metallic, it may actually be a little bit more than that. Tape it off to make sure the wires stay, and then I'm going to add this in. So you could leave this green and maybe add some kind of rhinestone that has a gold trim. A lot of times rhinestone have a silver trim to them, but if you have one that's got gold trim, that would look really great in the center of this, or even just a gold bead or button, a gold button in the middle of this to bring out gold. See that? I really like that. So I used a little bit over half of this. Do I want any of this? Do I want any of this? Again, it's just about adding different textures, so I'm just going to put this in to see if I want it shorter than this. I see, I just like just a little bit right there. I like that. How's it look on this side? I want some of it down here. Maybe I just want it down low. So let's wire that on. I think I'm going to keep those mainly low. Wire it and see. Good, I'm just twisting it around the bottom. Like that. I know I had a whole foot to use. Let's look at this one right here. So let's add just some other, just little extras. These are all just extras that we had from what we pulled off to kind of take up some space here, because it looks like it's just needing a little bit of TLC, and so we're going to use on a side somewhere. So this is number two. Now let me go take a quick picture and we'll work on number 3.